Hello, Alexandra. How are you? Everything fine?
Good morning, teacher. Yes, everything fine, and you?
Everything fine as well. Thank you. Okay, so let's please begin with the class. Models of advice. Okay, let me see where we left. Okay, I think we're finished. We need to do this.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so let's please listen first.
Hi. As your grammar coach, I have some advice for you. You should try to listen to English as much as possible. You ought to read a lot in English, too. We use modals of advice such as should and ought to very often, so we'd better learn more about them, okay?
Let's please read.
Okay. First, or one, we use should and ought to give advice. You should take a break. You ought to take a break. Two, we use should to ask for advice. We don't use ought to in questions. Should I take a journalism class? Three, the negative of should is shouldn't. We don't use the negative of ought to in American English. We shouldn't give away your only copy of the recording.
Continue, please.
Or we can also use had better to give advice. Had better is stronger than should or ought to. We use it when we think that something bad will happen if the person does not follow the advice. We'd better out fast or we'll lose the story. With better is the contraction for we had better. We always use the contraction. We had better, you had better. The negative of had better is had better not. We had better not be late. We don't ask questions with had better.
Continue, please.
5. Notice that should, ought to, and had better are followed by the base form of the verb. You should take a break. You ought to take a break. You'd better take a break. 6. When we give advice, we often use maybe or I think to be more polite. You should take a break.
Okay. So here we use should or ora. This is pronounced, you could pronounce this as O2 or ora. Okay, ora is more common. So
Ora?
ora, yes, ora, like this.
Okay.
So that's the pronunciation, like, I don't know. Can you please create an example with should?
We should go to the movie tonight.
We should go to the movie tonight. Okay, so here we could use ora as well. We oughta go to the movie tonight. Okay, so this is very important for the TOEFL. Okay, so in the TOEFL, my recommendation is to use oughta whenever you can. Okay, so use oughta whenever you can, uh, because it's gonna prove that you know variations of should. Okay. So it's very important for the TOEFL that you learn ORA. It's basically should. You can change should with ORA. No, it's no more difficult than that. Okay, so we don't use ORA in questions. At least in American English, we don't use that. So for questions like, should we go to the movie the night. You only use should. In a British English, you use oughta for questions because oughta or ought to is from Britain. Okay, so they use that more often. Okay, so but in American English you don't use that. And also for negatives. Like I don't know, we shouldn't go to the movie tonight. There's no negative in American English. In British English, there's ought not to. Ought not to, but in American English we don't use that. Okay, so we only use oughta. We can pronounce oughta. And yes, they use that. Not very often, but people use that. Okay, not widely used, but it's used. But it's something I would recommend that you use in the top. Okay, any questions so far?
Okay, thank you, teacher. So it is like kind of like we can replace it with should instead of should, but not in negatives or questions usually.
Yes, yes, not negatives or questions.
Okay, it's okay.
Okay, so
Thanks.
let's move on. Then, well, we can also use had better to give advice. But had better is stronger. It's it's like a warning. You'd better do this because you think that something bad will happen if a person does not follow the advice. I don't know. I could say I don't know. You'd better study for the test, or you'd better do your homework. So this is like strong advice. Like somebody who cares about you, like your parents could say this, you'd better do your homework, right? It's like a warning, like you'd better do that. Okay, it's like a strong advice, stronger than should or oughta. Uh, in Spanish, it would be like más te vale, right?
Okay.
Okay, let's move on here. Okay, so the negative is had better not. So it's the same. It's a strong advice, but it's negative advice. Things that you shouldn't do. It's like shouldn't, but it's stronger. Okay. You'd better not be late. That's like a warning, right? I'm saying like you'd better not be late. Strong negative advice. And you'd better not call me again, the same. Okay, so we don't ask questions, we had better. Any questions with four?
No, I think it's so clear. It's clear.
Okay, great. So let's move on to five. Uh in all these cases, like we should go to sleep. Let's say we should go to sleep. Uh we should go to the police station. We could okay, I'm sorry. So So with all these three, should, oughta, and better, we use the base form of the verb. Go. Go, go. So we always use the base form of the verb, regardless of the subject. Okay. And finally, when we give advice, we often use maybe, think, or I think to be more polite. Like, I think we should take a break. Or maybe you should take a break. Okay, so you have these two options. Any questions?
No, teacher.
Okay, let's move on. Then
Hello, how are you? What are we going to study today? Well, we're going to look at ways of talking about the future with will and be going to. We'll begin right away.
okay, let's read.
Okay. 1. We can use will or its contraction to talk about future plans. Amy, is this recording the real deal? Talia, we'll find out. I'll get this recording to an expert. 2. We also use will to make predictions, things that we think will happen. Tony, we'll probably lose the next match. We use will for all subjects. It is followed by the base form of the verb. I'll lose, you'll lose. He'll lose, she'll lose, it lose, we'll lose, they'll lose.
Great, continue please here.
Okay, 4. The negative of for will is will not. The contraction is won't. We usually use the contraction we will not win without Nick. We can also use be going to talk about future plans or to make predictions. It is followed by the base form of the verb. Amy, is this recording for real deal? Talia, we're going to find out. I'm going to call the audio department. They're probably going to need some time to analyze the recording. I'm going to call, you're going to call, he's going to call, she's going to call, it's going to call, we're going to call, and they're going to call.
Great, continue please.
6. We use be going to, not will, when something in the present causes us to make a prediction. Amy, look at those two players, they're going to fall. We do not say they'll fall. Talia is reaching for the phone. She's going to call the audio department. We do not say she'll call the audio department.
Okay, continue please.
We use will not be going to when we decide to do something at the moment of speaking. John, there's a football game on TV tonight. Anne, really? I think I'll watch it. We also use will to make an offer. Anne, someone's at the door. John, I'll see who it is. We use will to make promises too. Tony, tell the audio department we need someone fast. Talia, don't worry, I'll tell them.
Okay. So we use will to talk about future plans and predictions. Be going to also talk about future plans and predictions. And well, we're gonna see some variations, okay? But we use will to talk about those two. Can you please provide me with 2 sentences regarding future plans with will?
Okay, so I'll go to Spain next week.
Great. I'll go to Spain next week. Another one, please.
I will make some cupcakes the next weekend.
I'll make some cupcakes, right? Okay, so let's do two about making predictions.
Sorry, I couldn't hear the last part. Can you repeat it, please?
Yes, so let's create two sentences using will to make predictions.
Ah, okay. So one could be like, mm, mm, the next match will. No, I will search for another one. The next soccer game will be win by the red team or something like that.
Okay. Like we could say the red team
Will win
will win
will win. Okay,
the next match, right?
next match. Yes.
And another one, please. Another sentence prediction.
Okay, so the news says that it will rain tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, great. So we use will for both future plans and predictions. Any question regarding this?
No, I think it's okay, teacher.
Okay. We use will not or won't as a negative, like, right? So I could say I won't go to Spain next week. Or I won't. And we use also be going to talk about future plans and to make predictions. So you could use be going to as well here. I'm going to Spain next week. Or I am going to make some cupcakes next weekend. Or the red team is going to win the next match. Or the news says that it is going to rain tomorrow. Okay, so we could use either will or be going to talk about future plans and predictions. Okay, is there any question maybe?
Maybe what's the difference between will and be going to if we talk about future plans or predictions? Because I knew something like they're like similar, but be going to can be also used when you're talking like predictions that you're going to do at the or maybe future plans that you're going to do at the moment. And will is like you have a certainty that it will or not happen.
Yes, you're right. Okay, so we're gonna see that next. Okay, but
Okay.
you're right. So, but for future plans and predictions, you could use both. But those cases you're talking about are very specific. So you use would be going to, not will, when something in the present causes us to make a prediction. That's the first one, right? So when something in the present, so for predictions, you could use both, but when something in the present is causing us to make a prediction, then you use be going to, like, I don't know, look at the sky. It's going to rain. Right? Because I'm predicting that it is going to rain looking at the sky, right? Or uh, look at that person, he's going to fall. So I'm predicting he will fall, but with things that I'm seeing right now in the present. Or okay, so I can do another one, like he's on the phone, the police are gonna come. So I'm making a prediction with things that I'm seeing in the present would be going to. And we use will and not be going to decide when we to do when we decide to do something at the moment of speaking. Also, we use will to make an offer or to make promises. Okay, so that's like the difference. So will, it's like when we decide something at the moment of speaking, like I don't know, there is a concert tonight. I think I'll go. Or you can play the lottery. I think I'll buy a ticket. Or you can also use will to make offers and promises. Okay, so here, like, so here we have these two examples. I'll help you with your bags, or I'll always love you, offer and promise. Okay, I think I don't know if you've got any questions. What that was that it? What you were trying to say?
Yes, it was exactly what I was trying to say. So thank you, teacher. Now it's even clearer than before.
Okay. Okay, great. So where did we do this? The quiz within the quiz. Okay. Okay, so let's continue here with A3. Can you please read?
Okay, listening. Predict what people will say and do. Listen for specific information in conversations. Listen for the speaker's intended meaning. Listen to and take voicemail messages. Speaking. Propose an idea. Convince someone to let you do something. Grammar. Present perfect and simple past. Models of ability. Can, be able to. Possessive pronouns. Pronunciation. Following intonation for statements and questions. Stressed and unstressed do. Reading and vocabulary. Getting meaning from context. Understanding main ideas and details. Writing. Pre-writing technique. Answer questions. Task. Write a short biography. Skill. Use chronological order.
Okay. Okay, let's continue here. Any question regarding vocabulary, maybe?
No, teacher, I understand everything.
Okay. So let's move on. Let's read.
Okay. Video listening. Watch the video and answer questions about information and ideas. Learn more about body language and other cultural aspects of the video. Vocabulary. Learn the meanings and usage of these pairs and nouns and adjectives. Emotion, emotional, innocence, innocent, nation, national, business, business-like, competition, competitive, injury, injured, pleasure, pleasant, shame, shameful, truth, truthful. Speaking. Learn expressions you can use to propose an idea. Listen, I have an idea. Let me go and talk to Nick. Convince someone to let you do something. Give me a chance. What do you have to lose? Grammar. Learn to express yourself using present perfect and simple past. He's always dreamed of being a great soccer player. He moved here from England. Models of ability. Can, be able to. I can really use the money. Possessive pronouns. Come up with something big and the story is yours. Task listen. Listen to 3 voicemail messages. Take notes. Pronunciation. Practice your pronunciation of. Following intonation for statements and will questions. When will we have the results? Stressed and unstressed. Do. And all I have to do is sit on the bench? What do you mean? Reading. Read an interview with an award-winning singer. On the web. Research some celebrities. Write a biography about a celebrity.
Okay, so here, can you please read this sentence?
I can't really use the money.
Again, please.
I can't really use the money.
Yeah, you're saying like can?
I'm saying like
You're saying
can.
like I can? No, it's not like that. Okay, so because you use can like that when it's like alone, like I can. Yes, I can. That's right. But when you have a like this, it's like I can really use the money. Like I can, right? Remember the show, I can really use the money. I
Sorry,
can
it's
really
much
use the
more
money.
short.
I can
I can really use the
what?
money. It's like more short than the other one
Yes,
that is
I
long.
it's shorter. Yes, I can really use the money. Can. I can.
I
Because if
can
you say can or can, you like people would confuse maybe with the can, right? When let's see. Yes. So here you would say the first one is I can really use the money. I can really use the money. I can really use the money. Can. I can really use the money. And the second one is I can really use the money. 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 See the difference? I can
Yes.
really use the money. I can really use the money. And I'm not pronouncing the T because not many people pronounce the T. So you don't say I can because that might be confused with I can. Okay. So that's the
Okay.
thing. So only when you're like when you finish with can, you say can. But when it's in the middle, it's I can really use the money. Can. I
I
can
can really use
I
it.
can really
Okay.
use the money. Yes, I can really use the money. Okay, any question regarding meaning?
Only maybe if you can give me an example of business like in a sentence, please.
Business like yes, of course. So business like is like uh it's like when you're uh it's related to business. Let me write one example. Uh, his business-like approach to the dispute was very helpful. So this is like related to business. It's like when you have it's like when something is happening in a way that is practical and effective and is not personal, right? So business-like approach is like a very practical and effective way. Okay, it's like related to business, right? Something that is practical and effective. I don't know if it's clear.
Okay, we only use it like as an adverb, something like that, or it cannot be like an adjective.
Uh, no, this is not an adverb. Uh, no, it's not an adverb. It's an adjective, yes. Here it's used as an adjective. Business-like approach, because approach is a noun in this sentence.
Ah, okay.
So it's an adjective. Yes, it's an adjective,
Right.
not an adverb. I don't think it's an adverb. Okay, let me do another example. Hold on. Hmm. Hmm. We could say like I don't think I cannot think like okay. Hmm. This business like routine Mm, this business-like routine has been going on for years. Okay, so business-like again is an adjective to say that you're efficient and methodical. Having qualities needed in business efficiency uh, and all those things. Okay, I don't know if it's clear right now.
Yes, it's okay, teacher. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so let's continue here. What happened here? Here it is. Okay, so can you please read?
Of course. So, Talia is in her office. She's listening to the conversation. She has also given a copy of the file to an audio expert. Look at the picture. Predict. What is Talia telling Tony? I've got the results from the audio expert. The audio expert needs more time. The audio expert has lost the file. Maybe like she got the results from the audio expert.
Okay.
We'll pay you $100,000.
All I have to do is sit on the bench.
That's right. Do that, and the money is yours.
Well, I can really use the money. You've got yourself a deal.
Great. It's a pleasure doing business with you.
How's it going?
It sounds like him, but I'm not positive. Our analyst is verifying it.
When will we have the results?
He's going to get back.
We'll pay you $100,000.
All I have to do is sit on the bench.
That's right. Do that, and the money is yours.
Well, I can really use the money. You've got yourself a deal.
Great. It's a pleasure doing business with you.
How's it going?
It sounds like him, but I'm not positive. Our analyst is verifying it.
When will we have the results?
He's going to get back to me this afternoon.
Good.
You know, I've been a researcher here for 3 years. I've investigated other bribes and scandals, but something here doesn't seem right.
What do you mean?
It just doesn't make sense. Nick Crawford lives for soccer. Why would he do something like this? Why would he do something that could destroy his career?
That's a good question. How well do you know Nick Crawford?
Well, it's been a few years since we talked. I just knew him in college.
Oh, that's it?
Well, I got to know him a little. He moved here from England about 10 years ago. I knew he was smart and pretty ambitious, and that soccer was his real passion in life. I mean, he lived for soccer. Why take a bribe? Why would he risk ruining his career?
Sometimes greed can make people do crazy things.
What was the answer here?
That the audio expert needs more time.
Exactly. Okay, let's move on. Let's please read.
Okay, so Charlie and Tony are still talking about a news story. Talia says that she needs more time. Talia says that she needs more time. Predict. What does she need more time to do? To get information from the audio expert, to talk to Nick, to find another audio expert, to check the audio recording again, to air the story on tonight's news. I think it is like to get the information from the audio expert because she said like that she's going to get the results on the afternoon.
Okay, great. Let's see.
Bad news. You know the audio expert in the media department, Spencer? He needs another day to check the audio file.
Did you tell him it was urgent? Why does he need that much time? Just find someone else.
He says he has to get some current samples of Nick's voice. For comparison, he says.
Sheesh, well, I guess that's the right thing to do.
I think so too. This guy is the best in the business, and we need to be completely confident here.
All right, so what's the game plan until we know for sure?
Tony, listen, I have an idea. Let me go and talk to Nick.
I don't know.
He may be willing to confide in me.
Talia, look, you're not a reporter yet. You're still a researcher.
Please, Tony, what do you have to lose? It's not like he talked to anyone else on staff here.
All right, I'll give you one more day, but just one.
You won't be sorry, Tony. Just one more thing. If I find something big, the story is mine.
What do you mean?
I mean exactly that. If I can get Nick to tell me everything, I get to report it.
All right, you deserve a break, I know that. So come up with something big and the story's yours. But Talia, be careful.
What do you mean?
This is Nick Crawford, the Nick Crawford. The whole world's in love with him. Your goal here isn't to clear his name, it's to get at the facts, even if you don't like what they reveal.
I know that, Tony. You don't.
Okay, so what was the answer here?
So she's going to talk to Nick.
Are you sure?
So she needs more time. Predict. What does she need
Let's
more
see.
time?
Let's watch again.
Bad news. You know the audio expert in the media department, Spencer? He needs another day to check the audio file.
Did you tell him it was urgent? Why does he need that much time? Just find someone else.
He says he has to get some current samples of Nick's voice. For comparison, he says.
Sheesh, well, I guess that's the right thing to do.
I think so too. This guy is the best in the business, and we need to be completely confident here.
All right, so what's the game plan until we know for sure?
Tony, listen, I have an idea. Let me go and talk to Nick.
I think that the answer here is to get information from the audio expert because she needs more time to do that. But of course, there's a plan that she goes to talk to Nick. But the main reason she needs more time is because she needs time to get information from the audio expert. Okay, so I think
Yes,
that's
it
the
was like
answer.
kind of like a tricky question.
Yes, it's a tricky question. Exactly, but it's A. Okay, so with that being said, let's continue here. We're gonna work on grammar.
Hi, I'm a grammar coach. I've been a grammar coach for 8 years. That means I started doing this kind of work 8 years ago. I've been is the present perfect. I started is the simple past. Have you learned the difference between these two forms? Let's look at them.
Can you please read?
Yes. So, grammar, present perfect and simple past. 1. We use the present perfect to talk about something that started in the past and continues to the present. Talia has been a researcher for 3 years. This means that Talia started her job as a researcher 3 years ago and she is still a researcher. We use for to express the length of time. I've been here for 5 hours. We use since to say when something started. I've been here since 8 o'clock. I've been here since my boss arrived. It isn't like
Continue, please.
I have just one question. By boss arrived is
Yes, go on.
is my boss arrived instead of by?
Since my boss arrived.
My
Yes, exactly. Yes, there's some mistakes in this book, I think. My
okay,
boss arrived.
that was all. Thank you.
Okay, so no problem.
So,
Continue, please.
2. We use the simple past to talk about something that happened in the past and is finished. Talia was in the same English class with Nick for 2 semesters. This means that Talia is not in the same class with Nick now. The class is finished.
Number 3 and 4.
3. We can also use the present perfect to talk about something that happened in the indefinite past. We learned about this in Unit A2. Talia has investigated other scandals. Remember, we do not use time expressions with the present perfect for the indefinite past. We do not say Talia has investigated other scandals last year. We use the simple past to talk about something that happened at a specific time in the past. Nick came from England about 10 years ago. We often use time expressions with the simple past. The conversation took place several months ago. Talia got to the office at 8 o'clock. Amy went to a party last week.
Great. Okay, so let's continue here. So the present perfect and the simple past. Okay, so we use this present perfect. We can also use the present perfect to talk about things that start in the past and continue to the present. Like, I don't know. I have been a TOEFL teacher for 8 years. Okay, so that's the present perfect. Can you please create like 2 examples from your life of things that you started doing in the past and you continue to do? Like use the present perfect.
Okay, for example, I've been a biomedical researcher for almost 5 years.
Great. Another one, please.
I've been learning English since I was 12.
Yeah, but in that case, you're using the present perfect continuous. Let's not use the present perfect continuous. Let's only use the present perfect.
Okay, so I've been in this new house for 5 years. No, for I guess I cannot use since, right? Or
You can. You can.
okay, since
Since
2018.
you've been in your let's say in my new house. Okay, since 2018. Great. Okay, so with the present perfect, you talk about things that started in the past and continue till the present. Okay, so yes, that's great. So we use the simple past to talk about things that started in the past and they're finished. Okay, so let's use this. I let's say I watched the opening, the first soccer match of the tournament. Or I call him yesterday. Okay, so here I'm using this to say things that started in the past and they're already finished. Like it was the first soccer match of the tournament. That match is finished, and I called him yesterday. I'm no longer calling him. Okay, so can you please create two examples with simple past, things that happened in the past and they're already finished?
Okay, so for example, I watched I watched a movie yesterday. Or
Great. What else?
I finished my English task yesterday or something like that, or last week.
Okay, my homework, we can say,
My
right? My
homework,
homework,
yes.
yes. Yesterday. Great. Okay. Any question until now, one or two?
No, I think it's okay, teacher. Thank you.
Okay. So let's work on 3 and 4. You can also use the present perfect to talk about things that happen in the indefinite past. Okay, so like here. You could also say instead of I watched a movie yesterday, you could say I've watched a movie. Okay, I've watched a movie. That's something that you're no longer doing. But you can use the present perfect to talk about things that are starting in the past and are happening right now. That's the first use. But you can also use it like simple past to talk about things that are already finished. Okay, I watched the movie. But what you can do is to say I watched a movie yesterday. So you can use the indefinite the definite past in the present perfect, okay? And you could also say I finished my homework. Okay, this is correct. And this means that you finished in the past. And but we don't know when. But if you were trying to say when, like yesterday, you wouldn't be able to use the present perfect. You would only be able to use the simple past. Okay? I don't know
Okay.
if that's clear. So you could use both for things that happen in the past and are already finished. However, if you want to talk about things that happen at a specific time in the past, you only use the simple past instead of you can use the simple present. Okay? The present perfect, I'm sorry. Okay, so you're not able to use the present perfect.
Yes, I
Okay, I
think
don't know
it's
if
clear.
it's clear.
Yes,
Okay.
we saw it. We also saw it like last Friday, isn't it? Or but just the present perfect, I guess, or the difference.
Yes, yes, we saw that, yes, in the previous lesson. That's correct. Okay, so let's finish here in this part since everything's clear. Okay, so we're gonna start models of ability.
Hi, can you speak Spanish?
Can, right?
I know you can speak English. Well, I can speak French, but I can't speak Spanish.
I can speak can, but I can.
You can speak English. Well, I can speak French, but I can't speak
Can.
Spanish. I want to take Spanish classes so I'll be able to speak Spanish someday. Let's study the ways to talk about ability. I'm sure you'll be able to understand the explanations. Okay?
Let's please read.
Okay, models of ability. Can, be able to. We use can to talk about present ability. It is followed by the base form of the verb. The audio expert can decide if the recording is real. Talia can tell if the recording is real. She's not an expert. Can is the contraction for cannot. We usually use the contraction cannot. We use can with all subjects.
Okay, great. Let's read this.
Okay, 2. We also use be able to talk about present ability. But can is more common. The audio expert is able to decide if the recording is real. Talia isn't able to tell if the recording is real. Remember, the verb be changes form with different subjects. It is followed by the base form of the verb.
Continue, please.
We use could to talk about past ability. Talia could read when she was just 4 years. We also use was or were able to talk about past ability. Talia was able to read when she was just 4 years old. When we talk about a specific one-time achievement in the past, we use was or were able to. We do not use could. Talia was able to finish Sunday's crossword puzzle in just an hour. We do not say she could finish Sunday's crossword puzzle in just an hour.
Great, let's read 5 and 6.
Okay, 5. We can use couldn't or wasn't or weren't able to talk about past inability, including specific one-time events. Talia entered a crossword contest last year, but she wasn't able to finish the puzzle. She couldn't figure out one of the words. 6. For other forms and tenses, we use be able to, not can or couldn't, or could. We use it after to for the infinitive, with the present perfect and with the future. Talia hopes to be able to give Tony an answer soon. Our expert hasn't been able to solve the problem since this morning. I hope he'll be able to solve it by tomorrow.
Okay, let's finish here.
Okay. 1.
Oh,
We use
no.
we
Don't worry,
already
don't worry,
I
don't read.
already read. Okay.